All we got are neighborhoods. A neighborhood is totally, absolutely useless. That is a total waste of time. All we got in America are black neighborhoods. I can get in my car, get in a car right now and drive around and find your neighborhoods. A neighborhood is like a bucket with holes in it. You pour water, it runs out. To have a community, you must have three things to have a community in it. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide goods, service, products, and things for your own people, and jobs and tax bases for your own people. You have not got one black neighborhood in America that can provide jobs, products, and services and goods to take care of themselves. And you sit there talking about terrorism coming to America. They're going to wipe you out. The immigrants are going to wipe you out. First of all, when the terrorists come, they're going to shut you down. All they got to do is drop blue-blooded plague in here or some anthrax. You'll never get out. You don't own any drug stores. You don't own any food stores. You own nothing. You cannot feed yourselves. You don't have any gas stations. You are totally dependent on other people to take care of your needs because you don't have those roots sunk into the ground to take care of you here in Chicago. And all these black folk on TV running around all day long chasing balls, football, basketball, tennis ball, golf balls, dancing and singing, pretending they're having a ball, telling jokes. And you should at least control 4 basic things. You should be trying to control water, food, medicine, and energy to be able to survive and compete. You don't own it in this city. You haven't got anything in this city. And just as happy as a sissy in a CC camp. And so what we got to do then, and things that are going to come after you and wipe you out if you don't have this, there are about 4 basic things you got to watch out for. One is going to say it's going to be social integration. That's going to knock our brains out. It's already knocked most of it out already. The second thing is immigration. These immigrants are coming here. They're going to clean your tubes. They're clean. The immigrants are coming here, not coming here to be your friend, to get along with you. They're coming here to displace you, to get ahead of you, to get over you. That's why right now the Hispanics are saying that black folk are through in this country, that you've had your day. I don't know what they're talking about. We haven't had it, but they think you've had your day. And because now they're in control of affirmative action. Everybody's trying to create them. Watch all your campaigns. They're only talking about getting the Hispanic vote. They don't want your vote. Because you're not playing the game to win. You're not playing politics the way I told you to play politics by looking to get benefits. You're not playing it to win. And we're going to get to that in a minute on how you learn how to play to win in Powernomics. So what we'll say that these immigrants coming here, they're taking your lunch and eating it while you run around trying to get along with them. They are not going to march on your behalf. So go to the next slide for me, please. I want to get through these few slides real quickly, then I got to get to the real stuff. I know you're getting tired. Let me stay with you a little bit longer. Now, this is the problem you ran into with social integration, but they should have been desegregation. See, back in the old days, in the 50s, what you were suffering from was this throughout history, where whites were on top and were superior, blacks were on the bottom and inferior. They had a barrier called the racial line, okay, the color line, some of them call it. And so blacks on the bottom doing slavery and Jim Crow segregation. Now today, this is what you got. Now you went up today, you got whites still on top, but the blacks are still at the bottom, but all they did was slant the line a little bit. So that some of those blacks on the far corner over there, where it looks like it's high, those are the ones that are making the big money running with a ball. And playing and got their own TV shows. They still don't know they're still underneath the line. And on the far side is that what I want you all to do under Powernomics is that we're going to take that line, instead of having it like this, we're going to socially engineer it and turn it what? Straight up and down. So we can go straight up and do everything vertical. Next slide for me, please. Now, back during slavery and Jim Crow segregation, we had ethnic communities already. We had them in 63rd and Cottage Grove used to be a fabulous place for black folk. 31st and 35th and on that area was a fabulous place for black folk. We had Harlem, we had Buttermilk Bottom, we had Sweet Albany down in Atlanta, Georgia. We had our little communities. But what happened was that We were not unified. We had the core black community, but what we didn't have the resources. At the bottom down here, we didn't have the resources because they didn't give you anything. When they put you out of slavery or shot you out of slavery, they didn't give you anything. You had no resources. They didn't want you to have resources. So what we're proposing then is that, we're scattered over here. We're scattered, still didn't have the resources. Go up here now. What we're going to do at the top is go back and build our core black communities again. And I want this area in Chicago, with you all, with this being the center of y'all's activity, to be able to have a core community, a core black community here, where you all can come in and park your cars every day. Don't worry about living in the suburbs of Chicago. That's a waste of time, because those big riots coming, these big trouble coming, these terrorists, everybody knows where you live out there bragging about you in the suburb. Well, I'm the only one who lives out here by myself. Yeah, you're going to wish you had lived out there by yourself. You better try to come back and wrap yourself in some black folk and build your own black community. That's why I can go across America and I can come in, just left California. I can come out there and I can see I got Korea towns, Chinatown, Japan towns, Little Saigons. I can go down to Florida and get Little Havana, Little Hialeah. I can go up to Italy and get Little Italy. I can find Germantown, Pole towns, Hockey town, Cork towns, Russian town, and Greek towns. I can't find a damn black town. You're so busy trying to integrate, you have nothing left. As I told Dorothy this morning, you cannot make black coffee better by integrating cream into it. It doesn't get any stronger. You weaken it. If you think integrating something into something, making it strong, go out right now and drop sugar into your gas tank, see if it can make it any stronger. You got to work to keep your people unified so you can play as a team. I told you, God sent you here as a team player. And whether you like it or not, God has arbitrarily assigned you to a skin color team. He doesn't care whether or not you don't like it. Well, I don't want to be black. That's tough. You are. You're here now. Let me have the next slide, please. I got to move a little fast before y'all get mad and leave me. Okay. But what I want you all to understand is that everything is vertical. Always go vertical. Always go vertical. Never go horizontal. Never in anything. Never go horizontal in a race-based society. And see now, look, the difference down here is that back during the old days, before social integration, that's horizontal. We kept going back and forth from the back of the bus to the front of the bus, from the black water fountain to the white water fountain, and moving from the black ghetto to the suburbs. Those are horizontal moves. It didn't elevate you, make you a better or more powerful person because you moved to the suburbs. And see, only a few blacks trickle up on the old horizontal system. So you start at the bottom over there and go straight up, go to the top. Why won't you go to the top? Because that's where all the wealth and power is located. The wealth and power is at the top, not at the top of the T. When you get to the top, then you go horizontal. That's like when you build a business. You build your business straight up. When you get to the top and you got your own neighborhood built well with black businesses in it, you got this area's got a lot of prosperous businesses, then you spread out and go get somebody else's neighborhood. When you get to the top, you go take other people's neighborhoods away from them. But don't do that until you capture and control your own. Because if you don't have a community, you cannot have a successful business. Without a community, you don't have one thing that's very important. You don't have a market. No community, no market. You go into business, you're going to go out of business within about a 2-year time period. Nobody's going to drive all over Chicago trying to find your damn store. But if you put all your stores in one place and all your business, where I can go park my car, and I can get out and park my car, I can walk and find a barber shop, a cleaner's, a movie theater, a drugstore, a grocery store, a restaurant, a hotel, then you got businesses. Change the next one for me. So, and then once you build these communities, you get functional communities at the bottom, which means they become functional. What I mean by function, you can take care of yourselves, control the schools and everything else in there. Then you get, and people say, well, Dr. Anderson, I can't work with these black folks you call a team because I don't trust them. You can never have trust with another black person unless you have a community. And see, back in the old days before social integration came, black folk had trust. A black person could leave home down in the old days when we had segregation and say, Miss Jones, I'm going downtown. Would you watch the house and watch the kids? I'll be back in a little while. You left your front door open, your back door open, your windows up at night. Nobody broke in. When you have a community, you know and respect and appreciate each other. You're a function. You don't mistreat each other when you function as a community. My mother could leave all day long. We ran out and played all day long. We could go a mile from the house playing with other kids. Nobody kidnapped us, raped and robbed us, or sold in the house while we were gone, because we all knew each other. You don't know each other anymore since you've integrated. I'll bet you right now, most of you don't know who your next damn neighbor is. You don't see them anymore. You got to start getting, and once you build your community and you start trusting each other, then you can get cooperation. You start cooperating and pooling your money, pooling your resources, pulling your talents, pulling your brains together to be a competitive group. And then you can get accountability. You can hold some of these water-legged politicians accountable. Next one for me, please. Now, what we're going to do now is show you how this whole game works. Now, here's the power-nomics principle for you, how the whole game works. What I want you all to do is start at the bottom. Once you start building these communities, understand this. Everything is vertical. The first thing you can do to empower yourselves, to enrich yourselves in our capitalist society, you must have a first floor. Your first floor is your economy. The first thing you do is build a business community here in Chicago, or any place in the United States. Build a business community that can provide jobs and money, income, and products and services. You spend and you build wealth because you can redistribute wealth quicker owning a business than you can just working a job. Build you an economy right here called Blues Town, right here with the belle of Blues Town, Dorothy Tillman. Build you an economy where you can spend your money with your own people and practice group economics. Group economics means your money must bounce 8 to 12 times before it leaves your community. Okay. Hispanic money typically bounces 6 to 7 times. White money bounces 8 to 12 times. Arab and Asian money bounces 13 to 14 times. Jewish money bounces 18 times. Black money doesn't bounce once. Because as soon as you get paid, you take your posterior straight to somebody else's community and spin it. You're impoverishing yourselves by misspending your money. You're creating a balance of trade deficit. We are poor because we enrich everybody but ourselves. After I go down, I'm down in Houston, Texas, and people say, Dr. Harrison, let me take you out. See all these big, beautiful homes all the whites have? How do they get these things? Where do they get all this money for to build all these big, fine mansions? I say, it's easy. It's your money. You see, whites live off of 2 incomes. Hispanics live off of 2 incomes. Asians live off of 2 incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of yours. So all these other groups that you're competing with live off of 198% of money. You live off of 2%. It cannot be done. But we keep trying to do the impossible. That's why we have not progressed, as I said when I started my speech, we have not progressed in 500 years. We're still stuck on the bottom because we do stuff that doesn't make any darn sense. And what I want you all to start doing under the power of when we get this plan off, we're going to start next year. We got a very specific, broad plan all laid out where every black in America will be a participant except the Sambos and Samis. We don't want them. We don't want them. We're not going to invite them. We don't have a big tent attitude about we all got to be. No, I don't want to have a big tent attitude. I don't want half of them. Half of them need to go on and get out of here, go on to heaven or someplace, and leave the rest of us alone. And I tell you, don't waste your time trying to persuade them when you leave here. Well, you should understand the power-nomics movement and what we're going to be doing in about another year across America. We're going to build big business districts in all these big major urban areas where black folk live. And see, because what will happen, let me give you a little how it will work. It's like if you try to, don't mess around with a fool too long. See, it's like walking down the street, you look up and see a crowd of people at the bottom of a big building. There's a big skyscraping building, 30 stories up, and here's somebody that's talking about he's going to jump. And the guy walks along and says, what's wrong? What y'all applauding for? He said, well, we're just telling that guy on the roof, jump, 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 jump. He said, no, don't say that. Don't do that. That's wrong. Every man's life is important. It's very important for that man to stay alive. He might have a family and kids and children. Let me go up there and talk to him for about 5 minutes, and I think I can talk him out of killing himself. So he goes up there, and the crowd just settles down. He goes up there on the roof and talks to the guy for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes up, the people on the ground start chanting again. Jump, 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 jump. And the guy said, no, be cool, be cool. Give me another 5 minutes. And so the crowd quiets down again, and after 5 minutes up, and then guess what? After the second 5 minutes up, they both jump. Show me, for instance, where Asians, Arabs, Hispanics, American Indians, and women, and everybody else, and gays, show me where they're equal to black folk. When black people were the first people on earth, that makes them an exception. If you're the first people on earth, there you don't have any equals to you. You were the first people in America. Black people were the first people in America. Not these people call themselves the Native American Indians. Those are not the real people in America. Those people came here from Asia. They crossed the Bering Straits about 5,000 or 6,000 years ago. Black people come here, the Folsom people came here 16,000 years ago from Africa. They were the first people here. That's why you got Folsom, Arizona, Folsom, Mexico. That's why you got Folsom, Colorado, and Folsom, California. The Folsom people, you got artifacts and digs there from souvenirs and tools and instruments from Africa. The oldest people on this continent were the Folsom people, were black people from Africa. Now, how are you going to say somebody else, how did they get to be the native people? You are the native people of America. You're the native people of the world. Nobody's becoming ahead of you. So how can they be equal to you? You're the only people who came to this country that were enslaved. Nobody else came here and enslaved but you. You're the only people that are denied the right to vote. You're the only people that are classified as 3/5 of a human being. You're the only people that were classified as special property. You're the only people that the entire Constitution was framed on. You're the only people that an entire civil war was fought over you. And more importantly, you are the only and the most patriotic people in America. Nobody in this country, I hear all the people on these Rush Limbaugh types and the Hannitys and the O'Reillys always talking about black folk for this and black folk for that, about patriotism. Nobody in this country is more patriotic than you are. You tell them this, that Dr. Anderson told you this. You are the only people in this country. No Asian, no Arab, no Hispanic, no American Indians, anyone else. You're the only people that have fought in every war this country's ever been in. And whose mother country has never been against this country. Every other racial or ethnic extraction in this country, their mother country has fought this country, or their native nationality has been against America, except black folk. You're the only people. You're the most patriotic people in this country. And you walk on sacred ground. Quit letting people make you convinced that somehow that you are the guest. What they've done is taken the immigration thing and flipped it upside down, where immigrants now think that they are the special people and you're the guest. You got people coming in now. People coming in from Italy and Ireland because the O'Reillys and all those Rush Limbaughs, because their great grandparents came here from a European country. They are guests. Immigrants are guests. You're not the guest. You got to tell them that you walk on sacred ground, paid for by the blood, the sweat, the tears, the suffering. that they paid for. They paid for, and all the black janitors and cooks and maids and butlers and waiters and cotton pickers. You are sacred people and special people. Don't let nobody try to put you down by talking about you're a guest in America. Hell, everybody else here is a guest. You are their people. An immigrant is a guest. When they start bragging about their immigration status, you say, we are the only non-immigrants in America are black people. You're the only non-immigrants. They're talking about this is an immigrant nation. This is an immigrant nation. No, it's not. It's for you whites and the Asians and you Arabs, but it's not for black folk. Black folk are not immigrants. An immigrant is a person who involuntarily migrates from one place into the next and stays and establishes something. Black folk are the oldest people in the land. You're the only non-guests in the land. And they start to hear people talking about, well, what Dr. Anderson, these black folk, they're not happy. They go back to Africa. No. You follow the rules. Those who came last leave first.